Isang magandang bagong Pilipinas. Ngayon ay Miyerkules, January 29, 2025. Diretsahang usapan ng mahalagang issue sa bansa, kasamang kinatawan ng mga ahensya ng pamahalaan. Mula sa Presidential Communications Office, ako po si Joey Villarama.
Mula rin sa Presidential Communications Office, ako po si Weng Hidalgo. Ihatid namin ang mga programa at serbisyo para sa taong bayan.
Tutok lang, narito na ang bagong Pilipinas ngayon. Hindi maikaila ang suportang ibinibigay ng Department of Trade and Industry sa mga negosyo at consumer sa bansa para manatiling globally competitive trading partner ang Pilipinas. Kung paano nagawa yan ay ilalahad sa atin ngayon ni Department of Trade and Industry Secretary Cristina Roque. Secretary, magandang tanghali po and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Joey. Good afternoon, Weng. Happy Chinese New Year I'm happy to be here. Good afternoon sa lahat ng nanonood today.
Ma'am, simulan po natin sa 2024. So, ano sa tingin nyo yung milestones o major achievements ng DTI under your leadership at paano po natin ito naipatupad?
Yes, actually marami tayong milestones and mga achievements during the 2024. Actually, we will list them down and we will also publish them. Pero ang pinaka-importante dito are let's say, we usually divide it now into three. Sa international trade, of course, we've had a lot of investors coming in, foreign investors and foreign investments. In fact, we hit the mark higher last year than the year before. So, by 20%. So, this one is good, very good. And also, we signed the Create More Act, which is a game changer in the entry of foreign trade and international investments in our country. The Create More Act gives better incentives and better, how should I say this, better a push for the international trade and investors to come in because now the incentives now are all the way to 27 years. So maganda siya talaga, especially for the big ones pag pumasok. Gusto nila may longevity and gusto nila may sustainability din. Tapos for the consumer protection and the fair trade, we have really strictly enforced now and monitored all the prices of commodities. So we were able to have no price increase for basic necessities and prime commodities last year, which was very good for our consumers and very good for the madlang people. So that one was also one of our greatest achievements or big achievements for last year. And of course, we also monitor and enforce the products that come into our country, especially those that are substandard, yung mga hindi pumapasa sa regulasyon ng DTI or mga patakaran ng DTI, hindi talaga sila, nag-enforce talaga kami doon. And of course, lastly, the MSME development, which comprises 99.5% of the business establishments. Doon po marami kaming programa na ipalabas. And there's so much talaga actually programs na nailabas last year. So, marami talagang nag-avail ng program. But I can say one important one is the Enterprise Rehabilitation Fund. Towards the last part of the year, ang dami nating mga bagyo. Actually, sunod-sunod yon. Plus, there was the Kanlaon pa. So, that's something that, we always give tulong sa mga tao, but we forget that the businesses are also hit. So, here at the DTI, we were able to give loan assistance for the businesses of these regions na natamaan ng bagyo. So we have now the 1 year no principal and no interest payment, and so we give them 1 year to be able to recover and to be able to bounce back because we realize that not just the person recovers but also the business needs to recover. So yun ang mga importanteng mga programa, but there's really a lot kung sa programa lang. This year, 2025, there will be a push and we will really start to advertise these programs aggressively para malaman ng mga tao kung anong mga programa ang nararapat sa kanila.
So ma'am, isa po sa mga programa ng DTI, yung Philippine Export Development Plan. Ano po yung naging impact ng implementasyon nito sa pagpapalawak ng ating export markets?
Okay, export is really one of the important focus also of DTI. No, we really export large scale, the products of the large scale corporations. But this time, we also bring now the products of the SMEs, meaning yung mga produkto ng mga hindi conglomerate, dinadala na rin namin when we do trade missions. So, because there are some businesses abroad na ang nila is not really, they don't need to buy a lot. They just need to buy enough for them. So, pasok sa kanila ang mga produkto ng SME.
Ma'am, nabanggit nyo kanina yung MSMEs at palagi na lang sa mga diskusyon namin with government agencies, yung tinatahak na direksyon natin is digitalization.
Yes.
So, how is the DTI helping MSMEs naman in terms of migrating digitally at yung mapayabong yung ating e-commerce platforms?
Okay, that's a good question. No? Aside from of course, the Internet Transactions Act was already signed into law. We also push now digitalization because number one, it's the mandate of the president that we must go digital. Why? We're 7,600 islands. The only way for us to sell, get our message across, and to be able to disseminate information aggressively is through digital platform. And it's also the cheapest way then for us to sell. Kasi pag may phone ka, no, you'll be able to use the digital platforms. Of course, we know the digital platforms, no, na all we need is just the product, ourselves, and our cell phone. And we can already get started. And we've seen a lot of success in this kind of e-commerce platform. So, maganda tong platform and we are really pushing this even more this year sa 2025.
So ma'am, marami po tayong nakitang improvements doon sa ease of doing business, no? So kabilang po dyan yung mas madaling proseso ng pagpapalisensya, pagkuha ng mga permits. So ano po yung gagawin na hakbang ng DTI para mas mapadali pa yung pagnenegosyo, lalo ng mga MSMEs?
Yes, actually, we're really going more digital. Yung mga ibang mga kailangan pang ma-digital, we are really pushing for us to go digital. So the pag-process ng mga permits, of course, the business name registration, then the LGU permits, mga business permits, no? Those are also the things that we need. And this is a whole government approach now. We all work together, cabinet secretaries, to be able to push the international trade, foreign investments, and also the MSME development talaga. Kailangan natin to kasi ang laki, 99.5% of the business establishment is MSME and 60% of the workforce is MSME. So, importante po talaga ito.
Tsaka marami nang gustong magnegosyo na lang talaga kahit maliit.
Yes. Actually, we did a study, no? We got we got to benchmark also studies and we realized, number one, ang gusto talaga ng mga Filipinos are, number one, 58% of them wants healthcare. Number two, 56% is gusto nila magkaroon ng negosyo. So, talagang pinupush namin to. And even for the OFWs, meron rin kaming specific negosyo na para sa kanila just to make sure na yung pera nila hindi mapunta sa waste.
Ma'am, pumunta naman po tayo doon sa Tatak Pinoy campaign. So, kamusta po ito last year at paano nito napalakas yung mga local products natin?
Okay, for last year, that's when we just signed the Tatak Pinoy, no? So, we're really just actually getting started last year. But this year, there will be a full blast push on the Tatak Pinoy. So, proudly Filipino, meaning the products now of the Philippines na we are proud of and we can really export them or really push them also on both local market and on global markets also.
Naalala ko nung isang beses na umikot ang Pangulo sa Mindanao yata, ano nga yung mani na, yung pinampapasalubong, yung toasted. Parang he mentioned something like dapat sa isang probinsya makilala kayo for one product. Parang
One
ganun.
town,
So,
one product.
Oo.
Yes, yeah, the OTOP, that's also what we're pushing. No? But for this year, it's really the Tatak Pinoy under the Bagong Pilipinas administration of our President Bongbong Marcos Jr.
Pero meron pa rin po yun, yung auto.
Yes, of course, yeah. OTOP is one of the programs that we're pushing. But of course, we really want to push the Tatak Pinoy because that we want to send the signal to everyone all over the world also and here that Tatak Pinoy, proudly Filipino products.
Ma'am, pwede niyo pong ipaliwanag yung bagong trade agreements na na-finalize ng DTI last year at kung paano po makikinabang yung local businesses at yung ekonomiya on a long-term basis.
Okay, for the foreign trade agreement, the last one that we signed was actually the Korean foreign trade agreement. So magandang update ito, and this is a positive for the banana industry. Because actually, the banana exports have already gone down because our neighbors, of course, neighboring countries have already have the foreign trade. So yung tariff nila mababa na, zero tariff na sila. While us, we had the 24% tariff of all the bananas going in Korea. And that's our top export actually to Korea is the bananas. No? So now that we signed that, bababa na siya ng 12%. So pababa na siya ng pababa. So it's something that, we are really looking forward to also for this year.
Saan po ba may pinakamalaking banana plantation dito sa atin? Sa Mindanao?
Yes, sa Mindanao, may malaking banana plantation doon. So that, I cannot recall how many they employ, but there's really a city already there. So marami tayong employment doon. So, kailangan ma-sustain and kailangan ma-strengthen pa ang banana industry.
Kapag kita ako ng mga expo, international trade fair, ganun, pag may Philippine booth, ang nakikita ko palagi ay saging,
Yes,
Mangga.
coconut.
Mangga.
Yes,
Ano
that's
pa po
another
yung-
thing we're pushing is the coconut. Kasi
Opo.
number 2 tayo in the world. So the coconut is, di ba there's a lot of health benefits ngayon sa coconut. So that's another industry that we're really pushing. Let's say the coconut milk, the VCO, the virgin coconut oil, and everything else that can be made by coconut. In fact, may mga bagoong na ngayon made by coconut. So those that don't want to eat bagoong as, the seafood, they want the taste, but merong coconut. So vegetarian, kumbaga. Yeah, so that's something that we're pushing. But we're also going halal. That's another strength now that we're really pushing because of the strength of the halal globally. The sales for the global sales for the halal is $4 trillion. So it's something that we need to also push locally and globally because we also have a strong Muslim population in our country.
Actually, pwede rin naman. May nag-guest sa amin dito before na sila yung sa DTI din in charge dun sa halal product.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
sabi pwede naman niyang kainin kahit hindi Muslim dahil kumbaga
Yes,
hindi lang
yeah.
sila yung market
Correct.
ng products nila.
Yeah. They're not the only market, but malaki na rin ang market ng halal. So yun ang talagang pinupush din natin for this year, 2025.
Secretary, sa inyo pong pag-iikot, lalo na sa mga pamilihan, ano po yung observations ninyo sa ano yung mga pangangailangan ng mga tao at pati na rin yung mga nagtitinda?
Okay, dun sa DTI side, when we go inside, itong mga establishments, they really follow the mandate of the DTI na let's say the price dapat ganito, sumusunod talaga sila. So yan yung maganda, which means that there's a lot of regulated prices for the consumers so that the consumers hindi sila bibili ng mahal na produkto. There's always something cheap. And there's also something na you may choice sila. So yun ang maganda. Then after that, yung timbangan ng bayan, which we always check, naman sila, all the mayors where we went to, they really follow the timbangan ng bayan to make sure that the consumers also get the correct weight for the products that they buy. And we also check yung mga, especially the bigas, but that's under, of course we're just enforcing and monitoring, but we go now with DA and we check, so bumababa na rin yung presyo ng bigas.
So ma'am, ano naman po yung mga achievements ng DTI noong 2024 mula po dun sa pagto-turnover po sa inyo from the leadership of Secretary Pascual?
Yeah, actually, during the time of Secretary Pascual, there's really a lot of foreign trade and investments na, that we nag-carry over during his time to my time, and also a lot of programs by the MSME development that also was carried over during his time to my time. And also the consumer protection, yung mga digitalization was carried over also during his time to my time.
Palaging nagkakaroon sa mga partner natin na private stations, may mga programs about consumer
Yes.
protection. So, has a lot improved po? Kasi palagi tayong nakakatanggap ng mga reklamo sa substandard na mga produkto.
Yes, yeah.
Pero dahil sa mga programang ito, sa mga radio stations, at saka yun nga yung partner media organizations, sa tingin niyo po ba nag-improve naman ang kalidad? Kasi ang risk naman doon po sa napag-usapan natin kanina sa online platforms is yung padalahan ka ng substandard. Tapos,
Hindi yun yung in-order mo.
Oo, hindi yun yung in-order mo. So paano po ang campaign natin in terms of ensuring na yung mga binibiling produkto ng ating mga consumer yung tama at dapat?
Okay, last year, we've really strengthened the enforcement, no? Kasi we can't help it. Ang daming produkto na ginagawa ngayon because the market is getting bigger. We're 115 million Filipinos. In fact, yan yung isa sa what makes us very attractive sa foreign investment is our population. So, syempre, dumadami na rin yung produktong nagagawa, lumalaki na rin yung market, and marami na rin produkto na pumapasok din sa atin. So, we strictly enforce this. So, now, for this year, we are adding more people, and then we are also using AI to be able to answer the usual frequently asked questions or redundant questions. So, we're using technology already to be able to also address some of these concerns on a more aggressive basis. And we also have the report to SEC at dti.gov.ph, which lahat ng mga complaints na pumupunta doon is also something that we're really addressing urgently.
Ma'am, doon sa nabanggit niyo po na AI, ito yung parang chatbot, ganun, may frequency
Yes, meron silang ganon. And we are also now more parang advancing pa. So that's something that they're going to present pa to me. But we really have to use technology also to be able to address all of these concerns. Yung mga redundant, tapos yung mga frequently asked questions, yung mga answerable by AI is something that we're also going to use.
Tapos ma'am, dun sa report to SEC naman, anong klaseng complaint ang pwedeng i-lodge?
Okay, most of anything they want to report or anything they want to tell the DTI, bad or good, but mostly bad, ang natatanggap natin, and mostly consumer protection or fair trade concerns ang mga nandun.
Lalo na yung mga complaints dun sa mga nabili nila online.
Yes, so now we've also set meetings now. Actually, this first week or next week, I'm meeting already with the big platforms to discuss with them how we can really regulate and how we can really monitor and enforce the products that are being sold in their platforms.
Alright? Sa ating pagbabalik, pag-uusapan naman natin ang mga programa at serbisyong palalakasin pa ng DTI ngayong 2025. Kasama pa rin si Secretary Cristina Roque. Manatiling nakatutok, magbabalik pa ang Bagong Pilipinas ngayon.
Pagkakataon nyo ng maglingkod para sa bayan. Inaanyayahan namin ang lahat ng mga individual na may talento at dedikasyon na mag-apply sa aming mga bukas na posisyon. Para sa aming provincial networks sa PTV Legazpi, PTV Ilocos Norte at PTV Cotabato. Administrative and Sales Assistant. Ipadala ang inyong resume sa hireme@ptni.gov.ph.
Mabuhay! Uy, malapit na eleksyon. Nakapili ka na ba ng kandidato? Kung hindi pa, tara! Kilatisin natin ang mga kandidato ng 2025 elections. Busisiin natin ang kanilang mga plataforma at alamin natin kung sino sa kanila ang talagang tutupad ng pangako at kung sino ang nagpapaikot lamang ng ating ilo. Know your candidates. Malapit na. Abangan dito sa PTV.
Disaster Watch. Alamin ang heavy rainfall warning system ng Pag-asa. Yellow rainfall warning. Pinapayuhan ng lahat na mag-monitor ng mga weather updates sa inyong lugar. Maghanda sa posibleng pagbaha sa mga mabababang lugar at tabing baybayin. Orange rainfall warning. Mas malawak na pagbaha ang inaasahan at posibleng magka-landslide sa mga tabing bundok. Bumuo ng isang emergency kit at maghandang lumikas sa anumang sandali. Red rainfall warning. Inaasahan ang matinding buhos ng ulan sa loob ng 2 oras na magdudulot ng malawakang pagbaha at landslide. Para sa inyong kaligtasan, agad na lumikas papunta sa ligtas at mataas na lugar. Sa panahon ng kalamidad, dapat laging listo. Good vibes ba kamo? Sagot namin ang umaga ninyo. Mula sa balitaan,
Makakakwentuhan natin ngayong umaga.
bagong kaalaman,
Hoping for the success.
hanggang sa Unli Chikahan. Kasama ang RSP Morning Barkada. Rise and Shine Pilipinas. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 6 ng umaga. Dito lang sa PTV.
Is it a yes or a no?
Are you anti or pro?
Pagdating sa mga isyung panlipunan, stay woke or go broke?
Basta relevant, napapanahon at makabuluhan para sa kabataan.
Pag-usapan natin yan sa
Schoolmates, the country's longest-running youth forum and debate show on TV.
Join ka na sa masayang usapan every Thursday dito lang sa PTV.
Nagbabalik ang bagong Pilipinas ngayon, kasama pa rin si Secretary Cristina Roque ng DTI. Secretary, ngayong 2025, ano po yung mga tututukang programa at policies ng DTI para sa lokal na pagnenegosyo?
Actually, Weng, marami tayong programa talaga, no? But let's stick to the 3 categories, no? For the international trade, we'll be aggressively having road shows now to really push the country as a great place to invest. Actually, ang ganda-ganda ng mga programa na para sa international and foreign investors, no? That every time I meet with them, parang they really want to invest in the Philippines, no? There's a lot of meetings set by them, more than set by us. So it's something that we really need to push on an aggressive basis. So yun, isa yun ang ipupush. And also, we will now push the Create More, which is the best incentive scheme, I must say, of this BBM administration. Every time I go abroad and I give talks of this Create More, talagang ano sila, it's really something that na inaabangan nila. Actually, the Japanese have been waiting for this also. So we really expect a lot of investors coming in. That's one. And then for the consumer protection and fair trade, of course, aggressive push and aggressive monitor and aggressive compliance of all the products that are being brought in, sold in the country, because we need to protect the consumers, but also protect the manufacturers also. So win-win for everyone, that's one. And number 3, of course, the MSME development. This time, ang daming programa para sa kanila. We will aggressively push using social media, using all the media platforms to be able to get these programs out there so that malalaman nila anong programa ang binigay ng Presidente at saka ng Bagong Pilipinas, of course, and the Department of Trade and Industry for our mga kababayan. So marami ho ito. So, abangan ninyo very, very soon.
Sec, katatapos lamang po ng World Economic Forum sa Davos and you were mentioning yung Create More Act at yung interest talaga ng foreign investors to invest in the country. So, paano po natin nilako ang Pilipinas sa Switzerland at ano po yung sa tingin yung major takeaways natin from there?
Yes, of course, Davos was a very enlightening and very exciting trip. No, we went there. We represented the Philippines. Me, Secretary Ralph Recto, and Speaker, and also the Philippine delegation, businessmen, pumunta rin doon. No, and I was so amazed na sobrang daming gusto makipag-meet sa amin. In fact, we had 8 to 9 meetings every day. Wow. Every hour meeting after meetings. And for me, most of my ka-meeting were trade ministers of other countries, meaning they want to ask, okay, how can we do now, how can we enter the Philippines? How can these businessmen enter the Philippines and either expand whatever they have here already or open new markets for them? Madami, a lot of exciting things, like even I mentioned like the EU FTA, they want us to rush them, or expedite the processing of the EU FTA so that we can do already trade between both countries. So this is something to look forward to.
No.
And so many more. Also Israel Minister, Thailand Minister, many. Yeah.
Na-monitor na po ba ninyo yung kasi mga dating biyahe ni Pangulong Marcos sa ibang bansa na sila may mga pangako na mag-i-invest yung bansa na to, yung Japan, Germany, Czech Republic. So, meron na po ba tayong parang konkretong
from pledges,
naging
Yes, of
na
course,
ba?
meron. Actually, we put them out already the first week. No, we have from BOI and we also have from PEZA. So that's already now in the media. So it's something that we are excited about and something that we look forward to. And the President will be also inaugurating some of the plants that will be opening also. Just to say, kasi medyo meron, one of them is the Shera plant, the big one, a Thailand manufacturer of fiber cement, which will be opening the first quarter. So that's the biggest fiber cement factory, manufacturing a plant in Thailand. So that's also opening soon, and they're opening here. And then with MERS also, we just opened last year one of their biggest, actually the third biggest in the world. Number 1 is in US, number 2 in China, number 3 is us. The biggest logistics plant that they have now in Laguna, 10,000 square meters, green, solar, and they want to expand. In fact, when MERS spoke to me in Davos, they're really thinking of further expanding. And also expanding other things like ports, and kasi marami silang businesses, so gusto nilang i-expand dito sa atin.
Siguro yun dapat ma-report kasi maraming mga nagtatanong dati, puro daw biyahe ang Pangulo. Nasaan yung produkto?
I know, we will report. That's why, yun lang ang we will report. Actually, I sent already through PCO reports for PEZA and BOI, and then I just got back last Saturday, so we will be sending reports also.
Ma'am, dun sa pakikipagpulong nyo sa mga trade minister, meron ba silang nababanggit na naiba o kakaiba in terms of siguro investment climate sa Pilipinas that is making them want to invest in the country?
Of course, number 1 is the incentives that we give. Kasi, I mean, that's a come-on for any business, di ba? They all, I mean, it's a business, so they want to earn. So, the incentives that we give, that's 1. And then number 2, also the ease of doing business, that's also number 2. And then number 3, the talent. We've got a lot of talent, and we also speak English, and the beauty of our country. Actually, yun rin ang come-on ng mga, kasi di ba, ang nagpo-push din are the CEOs. So, namimili din sila where they're going to stay, and they want to stay in the Philippines.
Siyempre, partner nyo din dyan yung DOT.
Yes, yeah. So, DOT, they also, di ba, nag-increase din yung pagpasok ng tourists dito. So, things like that helps also. And then a lot of the big hotels now are, planning to come in also. So that will also invite a lot of the high-end tourists naman to come into our country.
So, ma'am, bilang bahagi naman ng 3-year Food Logistics Action Plan ng DTI, bigyan niyo po naman kami ng update sa Nueva Vizcaya Agricultural Terminal Incorporated bilang kalauna-unahang internationally compliant na digital payment-ready agri-terminal. Kumusta po ito?
Yeah, okay. For this one, I'll get back to you on this. Yeah, para at least ma-inform ko kayo talaga exactly what's the update on this one.
Ma'am, sa inyong flagship trade promotion program na makatutulong sa pagyabong ng creative industry sector sa bansa, anong sector naman ang tututukan ng Create Philippines sa taong ito?
Yeah, okay. For the creative industry, this is one of the industries that we really need to, to push also because our talent, we are very known internationally already. Our singers are known, our actors are known, our painters are known, and so many other in the creative industries known. In fact, nasa DTI din yung film eh. So that's something that we're pushing also on an aggressive basis. Kasi we just have to choose which film is really best for each country. So yun yung gusto rin natin itutukan. So that's one thing kasi may creative na act tayo eh. So yun ang yun ang ipupush din natin on an aggressive basis. In fact, I met already with the Film Academy of the Philippines how we can push now the local films globally kasi ang dami na ring Filipinos all over the world eh. So that's something that we want to we want to really push also.
Ano-ano pong mga bansa kaya may market for these films?
Okay, actually in Indonesia, ang gusto nilang film from us is horror. Yeah. And then in Korea and in other countries, ang gusto nila yung more on the sexy like Viva Max. And then in some of the countries, they like rom-com. In some of the countries, they like the old films, the old teleseries. So, ang pinaka-major concern lang na dapat gawin is to put the subtitles. Because now, di ba, some of the Filipinos, they marry the nationals there. So, they cannot understand Tagalog. So, importante din sa atin ang subtitles. So, yun yung gagawin din natin para mas ma-push rin yung mga films. And then, we're also gonna be entering yung mga local Netflix nila in each country because the DTI has 29 posts all over the world, which is, we call them the Foreign Trade Service Corps. So may DTI offices all over the world. So doon natin ilalagay yung mga films and doon magkaka-B2B between our movie producers here and also the producers there to be able to market the films here abroad and also the singers and also other artists here. We've already started also for the painters, the artists yung nagpe-paint. So what we do, we get the really known ones that are known, let's say, in Japan, and then we bring the MSMEs with them para makarga din sila. So every time we travel now, we always do both the international trade and we also do the MSME. So no one gets left behind. Yun ang talagang gusto nating mangyari.
Pasok din po dyan yung mga gumagawa ng indie films.
Yes, yes. Everybody that wants to export, we will give the platform for them. Yeah.
Nabanggit ni Sek kanina yung teleseries eh. May time talaga na sa Southeast Asia yung mga artista natin, sikat sila doon. At hindi nila alam na sikat sila doon. Pero yung pala, pinapalabas yung kanilang mga teleserye na may subtitles.
Yes, actually, madami. Even the old films of mga Dolphy and the old, there's a market for that. So, that's something that we're really pushing. Especially that there's also a push from the president for this, the film industry.
Siguro bukod sa subtitles, pwede rin i-dub na lang kasi di ba minsan mas gusto nila na naririnig mo kaysa binabasa mo yung
Pwede din naman. I mean, whatever fits the market, dun tayo mag-a-adjust.
Mula sa Filmameto, medyo mainit na tinalakay yung issue sa bigas. Kumusta raw po yung collaboration na nilagdaan ng DTI at DA para i-address yung pagtaas ng presyo ng bigas?
Yes, actually maganda ang collaboration namin with the Department of Agriculture, especially with Secretary Kiko Laurel. You can see us now going together sa mga palengke and really checking on the prices of bigas. No? That's also the mandate of our President to make sure that may mababang presyo ng bigas for the consumers. So we've been going around and they really comply. For DTI, ang pinaka-mandate ni DTI is to enforce and to monitor the prices set by the Department of Agriculture. So yun ang naging mandate sa amin.
Ma'am, kanina na-mention nyo yung pag-strengthen sa consumer rights. Gusto nyo rin tutukan ng karapatan ng manufacturers. How about yung campaign naman this year for yung nagbebenta ng illegal products or yung may mga violations? So, may sinuspend kayo very recently na vape product violators o noong 2024 pala. So ano po yung similar campaign for this year?
Yes, of course. Those that violate the law, we really need to suspend them, or we really need to enforce talaga to make sure that the consumers get the products that they deserve or what they pay for. Kasi, di ba, I mean, that's hard-earned money. So they should get the products that pass through the standards of the DTI. So yun i-enforce namin on an aggressive basis. In fact, nagdagdag na kami ng tao, and then nagdagdag rin kami ng digital platforms for this to be enforced aggressively. To make sure that both the local manufacturers and also the consumers are protected.
Off the top of your head, meron ba tayong ipupursue o tinutugis na kumbaga produkto na madaling ipeke
Lalo
o
na yung mga
Yes.
cosmetic products. Kasi last week,
Yes.
guest po namin dito si Dr. Zacate ng, ng FDA. So marami siyang sinasabi na yung mga hindi nakakapasa sa kanila, hinahabol din nila. So meron po kayong ganung collaboration din?
Yes, of course. Those that are not FDA approved, we must, and really catch them. And another thing is the appliance manufacturing, because there's a lot of appliances that are not accredited or that don't pass the standard of the DTI. Yun ang kailangan nating i-enforce. Lalo na, like say, nung Pasko, yung Christmas lights. Diba? That Christmas lights causes a lot of harm to our consumers. Diba? Ang daming deaths or ang daming sunog na nangyayari because of the Christmas lights. So yun, ini-enforce talaga namin yun. And also, the appliances and so many more products actually.
Ma'am, dito po sa naging partisipasyon ng DTI sa World Economic Forum sa Davos, Switzerland, bukod po sa mga nabanggitan ninyo, ano pa po yung mga natalakay sa annual meeting na ito?
Okay, we also spoke to, let's say sa WEF, the jobs accelerators. What jobs are now available worldwide that we must know, so that we can teach our Filipinos here na, okay, these are the jobs now na kailangan worldwide. So this is what we should know. Let's say semicon, let's say minerals, let's say AI. So those are the jobs na dapat talagang tututukan natin para we don't get our kababayans into jobs that are not anymore relevant in the global, in the global space.
Are we in touch po with our educational institutions, let's say CHED, at saka sa iba pang sectors para naman po sa upskilling para sa jobs?
Yes, we are working all together. That's why now it's really a whole government approach. We all work together to be able to make sure that we deliver also the, what is really needed, and not just learn something na hindi naman kailangan talaga.
Ma'am, ano po naman yung plano ng DTI upang mapanatili yung momentum ng paglago ng pag-unlad ng negosyo sa taong ito at makamit pa ang mas malagong ekonomiya ngayong taon?
Okay, for the momentum, we really have an aggressive approach, and that's the directive of the President, that we must really make sure that these programs are relevant, and these programs will make sure na maangat talaga ang mga, especially yung kababayan natin. So, talaga to, we are really pushing for this. And we will also make the people know that these are the programs available for them by the DTI. So, yun ang kailangan namin talagang gawin. And for the DTI, we really must make sure that all of us, employees of the DTI, must really make programs that are really fit for the MSMEs and also fit for the foreign investors.
Ma'am, doon naman sa mga, yung nabanggit nyo na kanina, doon sa mga may reklamo, saan po sila pwedeng pumunta? Tsaka ano po yung maaasahan nila na tulong or sagot kapag kunyari tumawag sila? Pwede din po ba sila doon sa hotline 8888 tapos i-diretso sa inyo?
They can go to the hotline 1-384 for the consumer protection, and they can also report to dti.gov.ph and also report to SEC, yun mas mabilis doon, report to SEC at dti.gov.ph, because that's straight to my office. I really assign people na yun lang ang gagawin nila, and to disseminate all those complaints and all the, the needs of the people to the respective functional groups.
Ayan, si SEC talaga yung nakatutok doon. So, antabayan na natin yan. Maraming salamat po sa mga impormasyong ibinahagi ninyo sa amin, Secretary Roque.
Thank you so much.
Sa pagpapalawak ng kalakalan at industriya sa bansa, matatag ang pangangasiwa ng Department of Trade and Industry. Dito sa ating segment na Mission to Accomplish, Secretary Roque, ano po yung gusto nyong ma-accomplish?
Okay, ang gusto kong ma-accomplish is to make sure that all the projects of DTI is really disseminated and alam ng mga tao na may mga programa kaming ganito and for them to take advantage of all these programs. Yun ang talagang gusto kong mangyari. So, for this year, we'll make sure that we will have an aggressive approach or a nationwide approach to make sure that all these programs reach the people all the way from Luzon, all the way to Mindanao. Yun ang talagang goal natin ngayon because we have so many programs that are really, I should say, excellent programs. We just have to get the people to know that these excellent programs exist. And if they avail of these programs or take advantage of the programs of the DTI, I assure you, aangat sila.
Okay, maraming salamat po ulit sa inyong oras, Secretary Cristina Roque ng Department of Trade and Industry.
Thank you so much, Weng. Thank you so much, Julie.
Ay, thank you. Ito na naman.
Thank you. Thank you.
At dito na po nagtatapos ang ating programa sa araw na ito.
Samahan niyo kami uli bukas para sa mahalagang talakayan at mabilis na aksyon ng pamahalaan. Mula sa Presidential Communications Office, ako po si Weng Hidalgo.
At mula rin sa Presidential Communications Office, ako po si Joey Villarama. Sama-sama tayo para sa isang bagong Pilipinas ngayon.